Hey, guys. Wait a minute. I think we're still we're still trying to get it together.
Hello.
Know, the devil is a lie. Technical difficulties, technology. But we are here. So guys, you have just tuned into Let's Digest. And it is your girl, Deidre Wells. So happy to be here with you guys. And it is Wednesday night where we just digest some topics and talk about some things. And we have our very first guest in the room, just having conversation tonight, just chopping it up as you guys say, but literally just digesting the ways of life. Because why not? So I'm gonna let her introduce. I'll let you guys know that this is our guest, Felicia McCray. And I'm going to let her just come on and tell you guys a little bit about herself. Before we do that, though, you guys already know the drill, right? What should they be doing, Felicia? You guys should be hitting the subscribe button. Make sure that you share this and that your bell is highlighted so that anytime I'm on, either with Felicia or any other special guest, you guys are welcome to get the notifications. So let's get into it now.
Like and subscribe.
There you go. Look, catch on. We got this. So tell our subscribers a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Hello, YouTube. My name is Felicia McCray. I'm a married mother of 3. My husband is Willie McCray, DJ Will, the music man. If you need him, let me know. All of my kids are adults, and right now I'm trying to find my way in life now because I don't feel like they need me now, and like, what's my purpose? So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, first of all, we're gonna say kudos to being a mom and getting those youngins up out of the house, because we know sometimes it is hard for them to leave the nest, and not just them, it's more hard for us. So we're gonna give you kudos for allowing them to get away.
Yes,
How does that feel, though? By the way, you guys, there you have it. I me myself personally went through some empty nesting, and maybe because I didn't have a husband at home. Maybe that was.
So I'm still not technically alone,
but she has company, and it doesn't. She don't have to come home and make sure that they're in line and they got some stuff done. So I love that. I love that. It's about I was once told you got to learn how to give some leverage on the rope, but don't cut it completely.
Don't cut it completely. They'll always be your kids.
Always. However, we know that they get a little grown, because we got to that part where it was, just feeling life out. I can't even say smelling ourselves anymore. We were just feeling life out, because what's life with
wrong? Like, who can tell me what to do?
Right. And what's life without a little bit of control at some points? Because when you get out that house.
And let me say, I left home at the age of 18 and never went back.
Hello. I'm okay with that. I can't. I might have been around that age. I had already had a mouth to feed, though, so it wasn't too much back and forth coming home for me either. But all good. Guys, so literally initially wanted to have a topic. However, because I want to make sure that our guests feels completely at home when they tune in with us. So when they join us, there. You're almost there?
Almost.
Hey, then we're doing the job. But I wanted to make sure that the conversation is completely casual, that we aren't tied to a specific thing. And we're just going to sit here and have some conversations with you guys. Literally, like I said, just started talking about empty nesting and, all those things. And I don't want to put a topic on it, but how do we get into the conversation? Let's just, life, and especially when you're young, how you feel about, do you even call them now that you've experienced life? Do you call when your kids leaving home and they make certain decisions? Do you call those mistakes? Do you call them bad
life lessons?
Yeah.
We learn from our mistakes, and they make us strong.
I just said that today. Some lessons, even though we can tell them all day long, but some of them you just gotta wait for them to actually touch the fire themselves.
Let them learn
and feel it.
But my grandbaby say hot, and life will get hot on you.
She's a grandma.
Yes.
Can you guys see good? Does she look like a grandma?
No.
Okay, thanks, because those are the genes that I'll be having.
Right.
16. Guys, if you have your drinks, if you're just chilling because it is 10 p.m. at night and the kiddos who haven't left the nest should be in the bed. They should be. So it is okay to unwind, let your hair down. Let's just have some conversation. Let's just talk a little bit.
Let's sip and talk.
Sip and talk. I don't think we have enough of that. I don't think there's enough. And although we are on camera with you guys, I don't think that there's enough of just sitting and talking. Like, yeah, without the cell phones and without the distractions, like just having conversation because you get to know somebody. I think, do you believe that we all change like kind of every day, every second?
I'm not the same as I was this morning. So
every second. And as we're getting to know ourselves, I think it's important that we have conversations and just, feel things out. Stop getting in the way. I know one time I would be like, if you don't know me by now, then that is on you. But I am in a space where I'm still getting to know me over and over and over again. So let's just get into how it is to getting to know you. Since, empty nesting and now it's just you and hubby.
Right now, can I be honest? Like, I'm seeing my grown daughter walk out the house with my supplies. Like, she's coming here grocery shopping. So.
Listen,
it's all good.
It is.
It's all good.
It is. But don't it feel good, though? I mean, well, okay, we'll wait for her to leave. We won't say that just yet.
Just said, well, I've been doing it all my life. Ain't no need for me to stop now.
We can let them get by with that pass, but I'm sure, to be able to help them out, I guess maybe depends, because our kids can be so dependent or independent. They can be so independent a lot of times, and sometimes you be like, okay, I wish they would just call me today, maybe. Are we just being crazy?
But me and you totally different, because mine's called too much. They call 10 times a day.
Well, you're right. You are always on the phone.
Three. My baby's in the military now, but I don't hear from her, but.
And thank her for
10 times a day.
We love it. Well, yeah, mine's, and I think I might have did that early on. I had this notion of having to teach him everything. I thought I was teaching him how to survive without me in the case that I wasn't there. His mom was young. She did a little, she had a pass, all grown, right? But I taught him that. And before I know it, he was cooking his own meals. He was pumping the gas. I posted a picture of him when he was probably around about 7. And somebody commented on the picture, this one he was driving 18-wheelers at this time.
Right. I can remember him. I'm like, I am a little too young to be behind this wheel.
But we were in the country, and I felt like it was okay to teach him the ways of life and all those things. I feel like now it's kind of, I don't know, backfire per se. And I can't say backfire. Backfire to my liking. Because I would like to get some of the phone calls all the time that you get. I'll probably not answer at least 3.
Right.
Out of the 10, I'll probably send a text message. But I would love that. Like, me and my son mostly, I have my bonus babies. We get those conversations. And since my son is fresh 21, he still gives me some time. And so I try not to over bombard. But I would love to not have to go 2 days and him calling me. Like, I think I've taught, and then I remember me at that age, and I'm like, my mom and daddy only saw me if they came by to pick the baby up.
You were on your own.
I was on my own. I was just that independent. I don't know how you guys feel about that,
And to say we have different situations, we both were young parents.
Right.
But like we grew up with Jaheim, and I grew up with Justice.
Right. Yeah, and so they kind of teach you, and then you. Well, I had Jaheim's father; he was around. I have to give kudos to the men in our lives.
Definitely,
I'm sure
I didn't have any problems.
Right, I was about to say, I think you can attest to that. So we definitely got to give our kings their salutes while they're here. But I know I had that, but I know for me, because again, I was 17 when I had him, and I had to try to hold tight on to. I don't know whether I was trying to hold on tight to my youth, but still make sure that it was very important that I instilled the same things that my mom was doing to me. However, I didn't know at the time because I thought my mom was very naggy. She was telling you she was teaching. I know now. Now that I'm a mom and I actually had to go through those things, but they teach you so much about yourself. And then sometimes without even realizing it, maybe we push our fears or our whatever we have, onto them without even knowing it. Especially,
But on the same hand, we would never tell them wrong. And sometimes kids, they have this notion now that we're trying to interfere or meddle, but you know, we've been there, we've done that. We wouldn't do anything to cause you any harm, and sometimes I need advice from you. Maybe I'm not being a good mom.
Right.
Maybe I need to back away some. So it goes both ways.
Both ways.
Open communication.
Yeah, and somebody posted that today on their social media. They were literally talking about giving their kids a voice now. Where we were coming up, too much of a voice is a no.
It's a no. Yeah.
Matter of fact, you're gonna get the eye before you even get
Or
two
the
words
hand.
out. Yes. And so now, of course, we've grown up in a different era. We're raising our kids in a different era. So even someone told me maybe last week or so, she was like, just rephrase that, because I was 21 when I had mine, but I was technically still a baby raising a baby. So we can't say that what we decided to do was wrong. I like to tell anybody there's no right or wrong book for parenting. Well, yeah, for how you parent. And I say that only outside of the general, let's be fair and let's just do things the right way. I say when it comes to that, we are all, each parent has a different soul that they're taking care of. And that soul requires different needs. And we have to even learn it. It was a blessing that we was given, although that child is a part of us and our other, our other half that helped created it. It is a whole different being that is going to grow up and that is their own testimony and that is their own journey. And I think sometimes that we forget that because it becomes ours. Yeah, but they're our babies. They're our gift. They were what we were blessed with.
Our legacy.
Oh God, talk about legacy.
They're our legacy.
Whew, definitely. I used to say this is what I was corrected on. I would say, I told my son one time, like, babe, I'm trying to get it right now. Everything that I'm learning, the things that I'm doing to grow, because I felt like I shortchanged you a little bit. I felt like I was young. Although certain things I didn't tolerate, no playing around in school, no cursing because I didn't think that was cute.
No.
Everybody thought it was cute. I'm like, oh, am I missing out on the joke or something? But I wasn't. And, so everything is different. But you get to, I almost lost my train of thought. You get to the part where, I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. Because like you said, we're moms and we know that no decision that we made is intentionally to hurt them. And that's the difference. One time I didn't believe in that whole saying. I think you're going to agree with me too. Because we there. People would always say, that's your mom. You only get one mom. And I always took offense to that. I'm like, I love my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl. You only get one daddy too. But life kept going and I realized, I see why they say that. There is so I know dads who love their, listen, my son's father, my kid's father, he loves his children. He's never not been there for them. But I do know that there's a difference.
It is a big difference.
There's a big difference.
We carried this baby for 9 months. We nurtured them.
Had to feel every movement of their body growing.
That's part of
every bone stretching out. We felt that.
I had twins.
Which that next topic, because that is so powerful and such a blessing. We bring life into this world. I can't, I don't want to judge. This is a no judgment zone here, but I don't know. I don't completely understand when moms or mothers go through that and they experience this whole 9 months and they feel absolutely nothing.
No love for anything.
Nothing. And then I get it. I know past traumas and cycles, generational curses, so they call them. But at what point? I don't know. And I even say moms or women who don't actually give birth are still moms. They still have the hearts of a mom, which means they can love anybody's children. But I don't understand. I haven't completely grasped the idea of hurting or harming your child, because even if the other half isn't there, they decide, because we know that happens a lot, right?
Sometimes they try to hurt the daddy through the child.
Right. I don't get that. Do we not realize the very part at hand is the child? or we get so wrapped up in ourselves,
And
thinking that we
man.
empty nested. Sip C, or thinking that we're in an empty nest stage, and it's okay. Them kids can fend for themselves,
But they
right?
can't. My door is always open for my kids.
Always.
I don't want them to struggle.
Yeah,
You had to come home, regroup, save some money, go back out there in the world.
It is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, and who gives them the notion that it's not okay? I don't know. Maybe sometimes we get to that part where, oh God, I can't wait for you to go, and oh my God, I can't wait to run through the house free. But I know that hopefully, we give enough love to where they know they can still go home to mom. Yeah.
Not to make it easy, like you never want to leave, but you can always come back home.
Because there will be a deadline. I don't know if you guys believe in that. There should be a deadline. And
everything has a deadline.
And there should be some responsibilities. Now, whether I decide to say, hey, you pay this bill, whether that money is sitting somewhere for you at the end when it's time for your contract to be up, or, whatever. There still has to be some ground rules. There has to be some responsibility because ultimately it carries on into our adult life.
You won't be coming in my house any time of day or night.
I'm 38 years old, and if I go spend the night with my mom, I know I better be in the house at a certain time.
If I expect my husband to be home, or my husband expects me to be home at a certain time, you will not come in and out at whatever time you want to.
And I think we get that notion. I like to say, I used to, and this was probably one of the topics. It's sometimes your kids can't get a pass.
No, they
can't.
They will take it and run.
They will take it and run. And because we love they little cute little faces a lot.
It looks just like you.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know where that DNA went to. I don't know. Some people see it, some people don't. I don't know. But sometimes we will because we do. We feel bad and like, life might be hard for us. So maybe it's, maybe it's
just a little easier for me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I always thought I was kind of hard on mine. Maybe, I don't know. I was a little strict. But some things I kind of be like, okay, well, maybe I should.
People may say I was not strict enough. My kids doing great now, but I thought it was not the strictest parent.
But see, that's the thing too, though. You got to think about that. So you're saying you're probably not the strictest parent. I'm saying I'm was probably way stricter than you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, once they realize that they are their own souls, their own choices, that parenting, I don't think that it ever goes away because you remember in the back of your mind. But let's just be real and transparent. That was even the comment the young lady made on the social media. She was like, I can do my best to give them what I got. I can never say what they will or won't do.
You can't.
My mama couldn't say what I would. Well, if she did, I'm sorry that she
Once
did.
They walk out that door,
you don't know. You don't know. You just hope and pray everything that you told them and yelled and screamed that they remember it, that they hear it at some point. And they will. They will. I'm going to attest to that because I know that, and I think about now some of the places and the people and the things that I've been involved with that ain't no, and my mom and dad had no.
Half of it. Well, I don't know. I got in trouble a lot. I guess I wasn't slick with it.
And see, I was slick with it because, and maybe because the fact that I had a youngin' while I was young, and I slide that over them very. Ooh, that's another story
for another day,
for a couple more days. But that was different from them too. Still raising me, and now I can even understand where they felt, why they felt the way they felt at that time. But man, it's just.
When your child does something to disappoint you, you think, what did I do wrong? It's nothing you did, but your mind.
Isn't that always? I think that is.
Where did I go wrong?
And I wonder about that. Like, do you moms, if you're out there tuning in, if you guys will be tuning in later, please drop something in the comment section, replay or something, because this is definitely a topic tonight, or a conversation that we're digesting. I really think so. I have to agree on that. I have to say that could definitely be.
It's in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Or the front of your mind.
And I used to one time listen. It was a bad feeling. I remember picking up the phone, calling my son's father, like, "Oh my God, like I ain't do something right. Like I know I shouldn't. Like maybe I was just too young. Like you feel really, really bad. But I now think and truly believe that is the key part that tells you you're a damn good mom. Yeah. Because most people don't. And I would say to my son all the time, like, I wish you would go out there and go to a child's house who parents don't care, who
Who
don't
don't
even
have
check
what
to,
you
yeah,
have.
or who don't check it even to see where they are, that they even came home off of the bus. Um, you appreciate this one day.
One
One day.
I think they're seeing it now.
Yeah. So, and I think they have to give us that. I think until we hit that little portion, it feels sucky. It feels real sucky. He's like, oh my God, why they ain't listening? Oh my God, why they not hearing me?
They hear you.
They hear you. They just gonna respond whenever when life allows them
I
to
can
respond.
promise you, each one of my kids has to come back and say, "Mom, you were right."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, what did that
But now we as parents have to learn how to say I was wrong too. How many times have you apologized to your child?
That's a big one.
That was a big one with my middle child, Dad. She's like, "Mom, you was wrong. You're not gonna say sorry." And it took a lot for me to say sorry.
That's a big one. It is, because we do. We I think anytime it goes to that where the reflection literally has to be on us openly, we get to the inferior. Wait a minute, I'm the parent. So
how many times have your mom told you I'm sorry?
I
I mean, and that's just where we
came from. Yeah, the era.
Parents are
Because
wrong.
children are children, and how could I be wrong against a child?
We can be wrong.
We can.
And when we realize that as parents, we'll be a much better parent.
Yeah.
And our kids will respect us so much more.
Yes, and they will be better people even because of that. We feel like they're better. They will be better people if we don't spare the rod. We feel like they'll be better people if we put them in a chokehold like I did and refuse to allow them to have a girlfriend. We feel like that'll make them better, but sometimes the things that'll make them better is seeing us, not always saying that we're the best.
The real us.
Yes. Yeah.
Mommy hurts.
Yes.
Mommy is wrong. Mommy has pain that you don't know about.
And from day one, they feel it anyway when their children can't communicate. Emotions, that is very real, and you feel the energy. So kids know it anyway. It's just when they get to that point where they can talk or they can respond back, we either get to tiptoeing around it or we make sure that they always know that we're the head.
Mm-hmm. You tell.
So don't step out of
Respect
line.
me, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't dare tell me that I'm wrong.
Your opinion doesn't matter. Why doesn't our child opinion matter? If they say it in a respectful way.
Yeah. But then we want them to get grown and we want them to go out there and stand up for themselves and defend themselves and
they never had.
They got shut down every time at home. Yeah. Powerful. I don't know. Maybe this next conversation will be a sit down with me and my mama. If you watch it, Josie, I love you. But no, and I'm thinking even now, and when it came to that, now we bump heads a lot, and I think she would say, "You always have something to say back. You always have something to say back." And at one point, I said, "You want me to take up myself? You don't want me to just sit there." It was kind of like, I don't know what the rest of the conversation
My
was.
mom didn't want me to do that.
Listen, it was like full of it, but I think because I was the baby, and of course, Daddy was there.
So you got away with more than your siblings? I got your back, Trina.
I don't feel that way.
I know I did.
I think I would say I got the majority of the reprimands. I got reprimanded more, and I felt that way. I don't know. Maybe before I came along, it was total opposite with them. However, I got reprimanded more with my mom than my dad, and that's another thing too that I see now that I realize more often. Matter of fact, I make sure I did not do it with my children because I knew I did it with my parents. Pull them in different directions when it came to what they
use them against each other.
Yeah. Because I knew my daddy loved me, and I knew I was his pumpkin. And y'all, my point is, I knew I was his pumpkin, so I knew he would probably not tell me no. I knew I could probably go to him with a sad face.
This two cousins, totally opposite.
Totally opposite.
I'm telling you, my dad, no, go ask your mom. He wouldn't tell me, It was always up to my mom. He never went against her.
My dad had this thing of he didn't know how to tell us no. To this day, my dad has never spanked. His idea of yelling at us was, and it hurt our feelings. Our sister,
More than
right? I know he talked to my sister one time and they just told her something, and I think she was just sad probably the entire week. He probably shed some tears too, but that was the most thing that he would do for us. He just always felt like at no given point in time, and that's the next thing, that he had to give, that he could never tell us no, that he didn't want to do anything that would bring us any discomfort. And that included parenting. And you know, I love him to death. I still love him, but I like to say I had the best of both worlds because he did all the spoiling. He spoiled all his kids. He spoiled us, but my mom was there to, I say, knock my head off.
He's holding that rod.
Yeah, to make sure that we're humble. And I can imagine what I would have been or how I would have felt like the world owed me something because it was always given to me at home. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah. I like that. I don't know. I feel like we're sitting on the couch. We are on the couch. We are definitely on the couch and having a conversation. But guys, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Whether you're a mom or a dad, tune in. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you handle life with another life, because we are blessed with another life. And although moms are different, although moms are special, dads are special. They are very special and very much needed. There has been a conversation literally a couple times over the past month about the fact that we don't really need y'all to have a baby. Like, we don't really need, or we can bring that baby here without y'all. You know, after that first pit stop, y'all can go on ahead about your business. We don't really need y'all. No. Yeah, I mean, and they could, but I can imagine if I didn't have that, things would be completely different. So blessed for the fathers too. So if you guys are tuning in, tell us how it is that how you feel if you're a parent, or if you had the responsibility of upbringing another life. Because parents, yes, they I say my bonus babies. I'm going to not push them out, but they're my bonus babies because I love them. And they were a bonus to me. Bonus because I still got the same love. I was able to love them as I would have loved children that I didn't have. Yeah. So God saw fit to give me bonuses, and they are very special. They get reprimanded just like a 21-year-old. Like I just to be honest, I probably was a little bit lenient with them because they would, and I said I vowed that I would never do that because they're the girls. Maybe because they got me in my soft era. I would say mine is just more so I didn't want to cross a certain line. I'm their bonus mom, but I'm not their mom. And see, I felt, and I don't know, I felt totally different. I felt like I was there all the time. I felt like, especially when the communication was open now between me and their moms, I felt like that was a complete understanding. I don't want to, if you expect for me to treat your child different in a good way, you should expect that I can possibly treat them different in a bad way. Yeah. To me, I try to be completely neutral and fair. And if you think that I would do that, that means also that I'm shortchanging my child. And if I would shortchange my child, why wouldn't I not shortchange yours? And so that's how I kind of always saw it. So they had to get to know me in order to know my parents. And I didn't have any issues with that. I'd say maybe there was possibly one uneasy situation, and I think that was the thing. It wasn't even a conversation. Maybe just unease situation. So people probably someone felt some kind of way, of course, but you didn't stop it, or you didn't cut off ties with me, because at the end of the day, even if you're not, I don't want to say not woman enough, even if you're not in a position, because men and women do it, if you're not in a position to say, I'm sorry, like we just spoke about, then you just leave it alone, I guess. Leave it alone. Yeah. And so that's kind of what that was. But I get that too. I get that. Like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I really get that. Now, I had that in the case of, that whole title. My babies got to the point where they wanted to call me mom. I asked the question why. They gave me their explanation. I was okay with it. Of course, still letting them, I'm not your mom. Of course, which is obvious. You go home to your mom all the time. That
my baby. They never call me.
They never called you mom.
But the grandkids do call me now.
Nana.
Nana.
Yeah. But I think it's just what you give them and how and maybe I was just around a lot.
And yeah, and I wasn't.
Yeah, I was around a lot. Yeah. But hey, that's the circle of life, or the greatness and the goodness that life brings us, the twists and the turns, the plots. And it was
shaping the future.
Yeah.
Kids are the future.
Yeah. And even loving on the bonuses that we were still blessed with.
Or nieces and nephews. I will give my husband 100% kudos. Like my niece and nephews, their fathers were not around.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped into that plate. You just have to, if you see where someone doesn't have a father figure, men that are out there, step in, take them to a ball game, teach them how to throw a football. Things that we may not know how to. Teach them how to tie a tie.
Yeah, and I feel, I don't know, I feel the same way when it comes to moms. Now, I get it, life has given me some other things that I can kind of maybe now go with a different perspective outside of my own. But when it comes to, I feel like because I'm a mom with my own child, it should not be hard for me to be in a mom's place when it comes to another child. Mm-hmm. It's so many times I hear, oh, they ain't mine, oh, I ain't got to do with that. But there's no way I can feel a certain way about another child knowing that my child is out here in this world. Mm-hmm. Because if I leave here today or tomorrow, I'm gonna want a mother. As long as they love and nurture, I'm gonna want that still for my child.
For your child.
Regardless. So yeah. So I don't know. I just never got with that whole sling. Dang, my baby. They're his child. Or they gotta do. Yeah, no, because I feel like right then and there that means there's a disconnect between the person that you so say you love or in a situation with. Because again, even if I don't know you, if I see any child, I just have a heart for children. Children, elders are my soft spots. I'm going to automatically jump in mommy mode if I see a child down the street going through something that it could possibly be my child. I'm going to jump in mommy mode. I don't,
because you want someone to do it for your child.
Yeah,
if something is going on.
Yeah, because we can't be in all places at all times. Although we superheroes,
I will say that village is not here like it used to be.
It's not.
It takes a village.
It's not. It's not. Everybody's so focused on a position or validation, or I don't even know what the thought process is behind that. I just know that something should change. Things have to change. It starts with the children. They grow up into adults that we're the main ones. We get around a grown adult and be like, something wrong with them. Or, well, they were once a child and no one paid attention to. Or that someone passed by because that's not my child. I don't know. Again, my perspectives aren't you guys' perspectives, but we just digesting some things because we know that this is a conversation that happens often. It happens so much. I still like to just see people's opinions and how they feel. I could easily just turn around and make it neutral, but people gonna be people gonna feel the way they feel. But life eventually shows us what's real. Was that a bar? Was that a bar? I'm sorry, Felicia. Okay. Was that like what is a bar? Was that okay? But yeah, no, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. I feel like it all counts and it matters. Before they leave the nest, before they leave somebody's nest,
before they walk out your door to go to college, just to get it on place.
Yeah.
The big thing, don't compare. If you have more than one child, don't compare your kids to each other.
Never.
That's the worst thing we could do as a parent.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
Yeah. Because now it goes from, okay, and we don't really compare ourselves. I don't think there's any parents or grown folks that compare themselves to children. But we do. We use ourselves as, okay, well, we went through this, so you shouldn't, But when it comes to children, who are on the same level,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't agree with that either.
There's no comparison.
No, they're again.
I can't compare myself to you.
Right.
We both have our own destiny. We got our own walking life.
And we're two separate souls.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we could have been in the same household with the same parents. I said that one time. I was like,
me and Gwen, like, are they sisters for real?
I can't wait to have them
Yeah,
one
me
together.
and Hattie are
You guys
sisters.
you gotta get some of this. But we could I literally say we could be in the same house for our entire life, walking past the same walls, looking at the same pictures, opening the same doors with the same people leading us all in the same house. And when we leave to go out into the world, we are completely different. You won't even know. But that's because we're our own souls. We pour into each other, or we pour into who we're around. Parents, we pour into our children. We're supposed to pour into our children, but we're pouring into them to add value, to instill some things. But we have to know that the main ingredient that's going to be mixed with all of those things is the person that they truly are. So we both can put in me and Felicia both can put discipline in. We can put love in. We can put hard work in. We can put a little bit of whatever in. But the difference, the main ingredient that is going to give you a different outcome, a different, cake, whether it's fluffy, whether it's flat, whether it rose, whether it didn't, is going to be the soul. Ultimately, I don't care what it is that we've had pushed into us. Again, we couldn't even talk around grown people.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't do a lot of things. But to this day, once we get out there into this real world, we can't use that because we are all of that.
We are our own person.
Yes, all of that was mixed with now who we are.
Mm-hmm. I make my own destiny.
Hello. It does not have to look.
Say what Naomi and Sonny did.
No.
Or my mom and dad did this. Just why my marriage is like, no, I make my own destiny.
You do. And you
I
get
control
that
my own destiny.
Yes. They gave you examples. They were your closest example. That's another thing too. I don't feel like it's just, especially as times change, we're not our first. We're in the house with our children and around our loved ones. But nowadays, social media are their examples.
You're right.
The people out here in this world are their examples. We can have our control, but ultimately,
I don't want to judge any parent, but
no,
let's limit the age of these kids. Their mind is not developed enough for social media. I mean, before you just put them out there, make sure their mind is right to handle it or make the right choices or decisions.
Yeah, because I like to say half of the time we can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us.
So you got this 7-year-old on TikTok. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to. This is how I'm supposed to dance. This is how I'm supposed to dress. But no, it's not right. But they're 7.
Yeah, and this is what they see on the platform.
I'm not judging. You raise your child however you want to raise.
Please do. But yeah, you have to do that because again, you were given a blessing. God gave you that responsibility, but as He gave our parents that responsibility, we are not theirs to have. Our man or woman or our sisters and brothers aren't ours to have. We were blessed to experience them. Yeah, to experience them. But I think everything is an experience, and you have to know how to test drive that thing per se.
And get from behind the wheel when you need to.
Yes. And that is okay. They have autopilot or cruise control or whatever for a reason.
Use that GPS called mommy for directions.
Hello. Lord knows. I don't know how we did back with the map our time, but yes, but now things are different. And we have to just, even if we're not willing to change the way we do things, we should be aware of the things that we're doing. I literally listened to a YouTube the other morning, and it talked about how, forgive me, stupid we get every second because of having our phones in our hands constantly.
You see this little bend in my
and
finger from holding my finger all the time. My phone all the time.
But when he said it, it made so much sense. And I'll be saying to myself, we expect for children to contain themselves, though. Even when now here's the big kicker. I never understood school cell phones. They can't have cell phones, or y'all allow them to have cell phones, but y'all expect them to only use them after class.
After class, in between.
You can't allow an adult to go to work with their phone. You still have to get notes saying, okay, you wasn't supposed to be on your phone. Like, I used to work at Sykes, a place called Sykes. And they would say, you can't have your phones, you can't have your phones. But of course, we get those we got children at home. We got to have our phones. And they get some leads that, okay, but just don't take your phones out while you're at your desk.
Right up under the desk.
We're going to find a way because we can't do without it. And there's something that draws our attention to it all the time and our focus. Yet we expect that from our children. So do know, it's cute to have all these devices and stuff, but it ain't that cute. Listen, my baby it took him years to get a cell phone for me. And for one, you had already been going too fast because at the age of 3, 4, he knew to get him a pen and a piece of paper and jot down phone numbers. Mommy, what's Nana's number again? He would start writing down numbers. And before I know it, he done found him a ride from Sumter back into the country because he now know how to dial the phone to pick up a call. I wasn't ready for that. Again, sometimes even though I still feel like, okay, did I hold him too tightly? But I'm okay with my reasoning because I knew why. I did that. And although we can't protect them always and forever, we can limit the exposure that the world have to them. Yeah. Because unfortunately, we still have the world out there who are, doing things that they still think is cute. And meanwhile, we're trying to tell our children that ain't cute. But they, with the click of a button, they look and, oh, my mama just said this wasn't cute. I know she crazy. I just 3 million views. What?
Look at all these likes.
And the attention.
Attention they're not getting from mommy or dad.
That's another thing. Please give your baby some attention.
And love. Tell them you love them.
All the time. I have this thing now where I like to tell people I love them when I leave. Or if I'm on the phone. My parents didn't grow up so much like that, but I even got them to a point now. When I get on the phone with them, we don't hang up without saying I love you. Because it's important.
And I'm working on that. I'm not like a
working on
touchy hug type of.
And see, I never have been either. Literally, I can kiss
even with my babies. They know I love them. I tell them I love them. I would hug them.
I'm working on it. Yeah. Now, see, when I got to an older age, I'm like, okay, you grown up, you're a stinky little boy. I don't want you all over me like that. Like, I ain't want you sleeping in the bed with me at a certain point. But I try to now. One time I would be like that, but now when he does it or he comes to leave me, I don't care how stinky I think he is, I just allow him to.
I'm working on it.
It's a process. It's a process. Now that's different. Now that's different. Me and my parents, I may get them to say I love you before we hang up the phone, but we ain't doing all that hugging and stuff. We're not doing that. We probably won't do that. I don't think we normally. I don't think we normally do that.
I would say Justice is not a hugger, but Jazz and GT is a hugger.
They're the babies.
Yes.
So everybody gave him that more often than.
And the best thing in the world, my daughter, I keep saying she went in the military, but she's 21. She could have been with her boyfriend or whoever the night before she left. She came home and she laid in the bed with me.
Love that.
And not in your bed. Then, the night before before she left.
Guys,
that was the best feeling in the world. She wanted to come spend it with me. So that was awesome.
And listen, and here goes my baby's 21st birthday. I wanted him to just come snuggle up and watch cartoons with me. He did. All the partying I wouldn't allow him to do, he went out that night. And yeah, I just had to understand that too. But at some point we get him out the house and then a little bit later we want him back.
Come see me some.
Yeah. I don't know. I just tell him I can't wait for the Nana stage.
Oh, you doing? You see Chucky around here? That's my grandbaby's Chucky. You see him running through.
But I love to see y'all with him. Oh my God. It is so adorable.
Oh, y'all wait till Friday night. Hot topics. Oh, this could be Wendy Williams. We got to have a hot seat for Gwen.
We will. You guys definitely make sure you guys keep tuning in. Keep showing us some love. my plan is to make sure that I bring a special guest all the time because I want these conversations to be real life conversations. I don't want to be the one who's always giving the perspectives. I want to be neutral, and I want you guys to get the most out of everything that we could possibly digest and go through because life is a journey at every given second. And there's always going to be something that you have to, matter of fact, you have to deal with. The next minute is going to be another hour. Like in a little bit, I'm like, okay, it's not what I got to do. You need somebody to break this stuff down with. You need somebody to just not necessarily give you a roadmap. You need somebody to just, man, you need to know that you ain't out there by yourself.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. I had to say that. Listen, I found myself saying that even on Bible study. It's crazy because in so many situations we hold back so much and we don't want to talk about things. And maybe it's not the right time, or maybe it's uncomfortable, or maybe it's sometimes you gotta say, you know what, you are not alone. And if that means me sharing with you that I had to go through the same thing, you are not alone. Why would you be? This world is made up of. How the thing went? What was the boy puppeteer? Oh God, how did they used to say that?
You got these little sayings. I don't know. You tell me.
No, you know how they used to. Girls are made up of, and then boys are made up of
sugar and spice and everything.
The boys are made up of sugar and spice and everything.
No, we are.
Oh, definitely. I'm about to say because they were made up of dog tails and puppy snails or something like that. It was something crazy.
The boys like this. They're nice too.
They are, but they smell different, I'm assuming. I don't know. But guys, this is what we want to have. We want to have conversation. We want to digest life together. Just as we're eating our foods, we have to be careful with what we put in ourselves and how we put it in us, because there's going to be a reaction based upon how your digestive system digests it. So you have to, per se, not necessarily bite off more than you can chew. And life can be a lot at any given time. And what better way to make sure that you get through it than to know that you're not alone and that somebody else can digest these same things with you. Yes. This table is not a table built just for one or two. It is a table built for many. Anyone who needs a seat at the table per se. You will have your own plates. You will have to physically digest your own food, but to have the company, to have the fellowship and everything else makes it so much easier. And so that's what we want to bring to you all the time. I don't know. Ask Felicia, guys. I'm sure she will be back with us again.
Oh, me and Gwen together?
Absolutely. I would love a duo. I think we need a sisters conversation. We definitely should have a girls panel. Yeah. And chop it up. We're being very nice and cool tonight, although, just a little wide, maybe a little, but make sure you guys have what you need with you. Make sure you come relaxed. Make sure you come with an open mind. We want to start seeing that chat blowing up.
Any topics you want to discuss?
Any topic.
Put it in the chat box.
Yeah, just drop it down and I will make sure that I go back through and I will make sure that I get to those topics. And hey, maybe if you have been, per se, the chef on that topic of digestion, maybe you can come and sit on the couch and talk to us as well. I don't know. Your perspective could be way clearer than mine. Maybe I haven't had a taste of that just yet. And when I get to it, I like to eat a little pretty. I like to digest things the proper way sometimes. Slowly, but very, very, thoroughly, shall I say. But guys, I think I don't know, Felicia, are you good? Do you have anything else that was okay? It's good? It was my little shell. Yeah. That's the next thing. We all gotta,
you comfort zone.
Yeah. Because you find things that you didn't even realize about yourself eventually. True. So we're gonna hold you guys to that as well.
Should we apologize in advance for Friday, or we'll just wait till they meet?
We'll just wait till they meet her.
It'll be Friday.
It'll be different. It'll definitely be different, and it'll be welcoming, and it'll probably be. I guess we'll look at I don't think she has scheduled. But yeah, it'll probably be the following Friday. This upcoming Friday, you guys, I still have a guest. I still have a guest and a topic. Huh?
Who's your guest?
I was trying to figure out whether I really want to give it away yet or not. Well, no, I don't know. You haven't met him yet. So I would say he's my mentor. Someone I look up to. Someone that, I was able to digest some things within life.
So Friday would be Financial Friday.
Well, our topic isn't even financial. You would think it would be, but it's not. And that's the beauty of talking to people and having a conversation.
You don't know where to go.
You don't know where to go.
Life is not scripted.
You heard it. It is not. So as much as we tried to make sure we got here on time and strip this thing and place these things, look, it was just like you guys literally were just here with us, being our complete natural selves. And so we hope that you guys enjoyed this segment of Let's Digest. We hope and pray that we brought you guys some great information, some things that you can actually go back, some perspectives that you can actually now go back and digest based upon the things that you've experienced. So until next time, you guys, like always, be blessed and be great because you are. Until the next session, that is. Well, no, even until the next session, even after the next section. Just be great. I don't know. Felicia, cheers.
That's it. Cheers.
To our first.
Sorry.
It's okay. Early. Yeah, a glass of wine is okay, Hopefully it makes you fine like wine and all that good stuff. But guys, that is all for tonight. We will see you guys the next time. Yeah.
Bye.